Welcome back to Refrain Chord. So, yeah, let's continue the main story. The Dorator Lava Cave. Okay? A beautiful day. A beautiful day inside a volcano. That makes sense.
I mean, oh my god.
Well, Teo, at this point, what else did you expect?
Maybe the actual scene will not start with the, with the trumpet theme.
I mean,
Remember,
we've got...
it's not just the humor theme, it's the casual theme.
At this point, Teo, this is just the status quo. Okay, so the joke now is that they're going to have Fang act oh, look, we're here and Zagi's here. I sure hope nobody comes in to get him. So the joke now is that Fang's acting is super terrible. Okay, to the game's credit, I can tell that Fang's VA is having fun with this skit. So, fine. That's fine. I kind of wish I could definitely see Keiji Tang doing a great job with this scene. Actually, yeah, because Keiji Tang is so funny that I can definitely see him doing wonders with this if they brought back the English actors. A shame.
Such a shame the publisher was cheap.
Yeah. Like I can understand what not doing voice acting, English voice acting for the second Kagura Neptunia crossover and the Virtual Stars thing, even though
yeah, because they have a lot of characters and a lot of them are
VTubers,
VTubers, so it'd be really difficult, if not impossible, to replicate that in English.
For this one, no. For this one, no. There's no excuse. They're just being cheap because the first game didn't really sell very well, so they clearly, this game really got the short end of the stick. Not even just in terms of localization.
By virtue of the lack of that dub, that this is officially the cheapest game that they have published.
Probably not just because of the localization. The game itself is so lacking in gameplay. Like it's just the battle system and basically nothing else. I mean, yeah, there's no location shaping, but what I mean, let's say location shaping is just it's basically just a gigantic game of Minesweeper when you get right down to it. So it's like, is it really that much? Go on.
It barely has more gameplay than a visual novel.
I mean, it has a battle system, so just by that, tactical combat. So by that, by default, it has more gameplay than any visual novel. The thing is,
barely.
Just because you're not seeing much doesn't mean that it actually doesn't have it.
Yeah, not for nothing, Glibs. We might as well be saying that every tactical RPG that has just the gameplay and the story is barely away from being a visual novel with that logic.
I mean, it's more so that the gameplay is super basic. So the gameplay is not exactly great. So it's just like, it works, it functions, but it's nothing spectacular.
So I'm guessing this is where we either capture and convert Ibfreet or kill him based off of the route.
We always recruit him regardless of route.
No, I think he means he's going to throw us a party. What do you think?
I'm guessing in both routes you always get the same party, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I guess that means nobody gets any undignified ends, at least. So
no.
That.
I mean, I guess kudos for small favors. Oh yeah, now both Sherman and Apollonius are reflecting on how much they've changed ever since they joined the party, which is a conversation that doesn't really feel earned because you didn't really see much of anything. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional skit here and there, but go on.
Yeah, Apollonius changed from being evil, grumpy gits to just be grumpy, and what's the blonde guy's name?
Sherman.
And Sherman went from. Actually, I don't even know where he went from.
He was an evil psychopath, but now he's not.
Okay, let's be fair. He did have the development. It wasn't the best done, but let's not pretend that it was never there on screen, even if we did miss some of that stuff.
Oh no, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying like he even
was.
Well, yeah, but I'm not.
Well, yeah, this was according to him.
Okay then.
Wow, this guy's even harsher than Stanley Kubrick. You being such a bad actor, you'll kill them. Christ.
We established from the previous fight that Ibfreet seems to be a very, younger and petty reasons.
But it's okay, it's just friendship. He totally does not love Zagi.
To be fair, we're going to have a character episode later on where he literally says, no, we're not like that actually.
Oh, he already mentioned that the first time we ran into him, that no, it's friendship and all that.
Are we the baddies?
Yeah, okay, no, actually, Pippin, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. This guy is attacking you, and you're defending yourself. That doesn't make you a bad guy. What are you supposed to do? Just let it. What are you supposed to do? Just let him kill you?
Even Soji points out that we're doing this for a good cause.
I think maybe Pippin's reflecting if we're actually deliberately provoking the situation, are we really better than him? But honestly, considering his behavior, I think this is for the better.
Honestly, I just read that as Pippin doing his usual chivalrous hero stuff and all that, Trying to see if it was truly honorable to trap him, yada yada yada.
How sad.
Honestly,
Yes, that is my name.
It's no use.
okay,
Hit
I
him
know
till he
that.
understands. Sure, that'll.
I know that, to be fair, media does tend to portray guys who have a deep bond as automatically gay way too much, but I do have to wonder, why didn't they just make Ibfreet in love with Zagi here?
Maybe because otherwise this obsession would have resulted even more creepy than it already is.
Not just that, but remember, Zagi,
Again, Jova, let's try to have representation that not necessarily has to be automatically negative.
Obviously, but not to mention, Jova, remember, Zagi only has eyes for Mariana, so...
Okay, I'll be honest, I do get it, not having representation that's negative, but I do think that we should be fearful of the opposite, where, suddenly,
While I get it, I get the idea why they would do this.
Yeah. Zagi's a beta male, Jova, so...
Of course. So he basically is Sonic.
A beta male that Ibfreet looks up to, even though Ibfreet seems more like...
I guess, okay, I guess he's a Zeta male then, maybe? Or a Delta male?
See, the irony... No, like I said, the irony is that Ibfreet's the alpha, but he's obsessed with his beta.
Ah, okay.
Usually, when it comes to the whole power dynamic, usually the joke, because it's tied also to an entire way of fanfics, is usually Alpha and Omega, which are the polar opposite letters of the classic ancient Greek alphabet.
And once again, Glass's shadow is here, even though she has no reason to be.
Wait, dragons, though.
Okay, to be fair, didn't Dorfus and
That's the thing.
after us, so this time it makes sense that Glass will be backing him up?
Remember too, they do it once again for the sake of balance, because if it was just Ibfreet on the battlefield, we would have such a monumental advantage in numbers, the battle would be even easier than it already is.
It's mostly because of the other side of the coin of the gameplay, because, a tactical RPG does demand that usually fight needs to be between two groups at the very least of some kind, rather than one, unless the opponent is really huge.
Remember, that's something that's kind of a problem that the original game had, where the first time we fight Ethel, for example, by that point we have both Fang and Tiara in the party, and hell, by the second time we fight Ethel in that game, we already have the full-blown party. So Ethel is at a massive disadvantage.
Mind you, remember, Pedro, that happens in a lot of RPGs. The compensation for that is to have the single opponent to be very powerful. For example, Fugue in Eternal Sonata usually does that.
The problem is that Advent Dark Force doesn't really do that. I mean,
if that happens, usually that's a problem of game balance more than anything.
Yeah.
Actually, if I recall correctly, Advent Dark Force at the very least made the singular bosses stronger. Whereas in this game, maybe it's because you're extremely over leveled, but and again, like you said, Beam is kind of a special case, but damn, everything really seems to go down in
No, it's mostly also it's because of those elements, Jova. Again. The reason why is it like this, Joe, is because since there isn't much material of this gameplay online, there isn't that much that we actually can compare it to.
Not just
I
that.
think like a bit of a problem.
As you might have noticed with earlier, I didn't use beam, I used prismatic burst, right, which also killed glass in one hit. So it's not even just a term of the beam. Like even if I handicap myself into not using beam, these battles would still go on relatively short still, because at maximum I need only like 2 hits, maybe at the worst case scenario 3 hits to kill each enemy. So these battles won't really. Not to mention, it's very easy to get super OP in this game because you can buy a shit ton of items, because this game gives you a lot of money, so you can go to the store, to Tomoe's shop, and buy a shit ton of potions.
I was actually going to ask, like, I mean, I know that, well, okay, I'm assuming you didn't really use too many cheats for this, but I was going to ask, like, okay, let's assume that if you are that powerful, the game will be a cakewalk. I do wonder how easy the game makes it to get that powerful.
It makes it easier. Well, okay, wait a minute. Elven Dark Force was like this too. It's relatively easy to just get into a thing and just grind a specific battle and buy a lot of items.
I guess the
especially because,
difference is
like for example, Jova, let me give you an idea. You always get XP and FP doing any action. I do mean any action. Meaning, you can just go into the easiest free battle in this game, the one that has like super weak monsters that will only kill you if you let them, right? And just keep having the character spam cure over and over, and you can just grind immensely in just one battle if you know what you're doing. So the game is very easy so it's very easy to exploit the game systems to get yourself overpowered. It really is that easy.
It's a very unique level up system. I'm trying to remember.
Final Fantasy II.
Did that?
It's the Final Fantasy II type thing where like the game gives you XP, or in the case of Final Fantasy II, stat points based on the actions you do. Although this game also gives you the XP at the end of the battle, of course. But honestly, the best way to grind this game, both XP and FP, is to just stay there just go back to the first free battle of the game and just keep spamming moves over and over, and make sure you don't kill the enemy so the battle doesn't end. That's it. That's the best way you can, and you can basically just stay there and grind like mad, doing absolutely nothing, which is incredibly tedious. You know what's the fun? You were talking about cheats. The only cheat I have for this game, actually, believe it or not, is I'll explain.
Oh my god! They actually edited his sprite to make it look like he's holding Galdo, and by that I mean they took the weapon out of his hand. But hey, it's something. He looks like he is.
Okay, that is true.
His fist over.
That's the problem, Jova. Now look at that pose. That particular sprite looks absolutely ridiculous. Look at that. He looks like. Why would he be like in this position unless he's holding his weapons? Like, and he's gonna make that pose later more times, and you'll be able to see it even better when you see it up front. Like, it looks so awkward. What is up with this franchise and awkward poses? It's Tiara with her thing that Teo even said in the original preview he tried to make, and it was very uncomfortable, right? It's Glass when she's singing and she does this thing where she throws her arm up and you can see her armpit, you know? Like, what?
Oh wait, are we about to get Ibfreet being talked over by the power of friendship?
Yes, which is something that I'm not really okay with, by the way. You know, because this game is trying to supposedly tackle the topic of horrible indoctrination, and the game is basically just, you know, trivializing it by making it so that you can very easily solve his indoctrination issues by just using a power friendship speech, and that's just like, no, don't do that. That's horrible. That's
Admittedly, they have. I was mainly joking about power friendship, since it does seem like right now they are legit talking over the issue at the moment.
Oh, they are, but like the problem is that it's way too quick. Like, supposedly the idea of here is that both Zagi. Okay, with Zagi I'm okay with, because you can kind of assume and theorize that it's been years since he left the Institute, so he's had time to heal and recover from the indoctrination. But Ibfreet was completely obsessed with being a fencer up until like 10 minutes ago. And now with just this one conversation, they managed to convince him to join our party and not kill Zagi. Like, it's just like, it's way too fast and trivializes this complicated issue that should be given more consideration on part of the writers.
I kind of want to see how it all goes through before I go to that point. Like, on the one hand, my idea is like, well, Ibfreet might join us under very tense circumstances, but the idea is that he still will have that mentality behind his head.
I've seen worse type of, mood whiplash recruiting in all of Fire Emblem games.
That is true, but like, let me put it this way. I think this would be fine if they had this conversation, then that Ibfreet goes away and he won't listen because, his mind is way too indoctrinated. And you can do this gradually throughout the story. Here's an idea. Introduce Ibfreet earlier in the plot and try to have this be a gradual process where we try to have a lot of moments. Like, you can even have a moment where maybe there's some kind of big plot event where Ibfreet is forced to confront something that makes him, that shock therapies him into maybe seeing things a different way or something like that eventually. My problem is just the way it's done, where Ibfreet goes way too fast for going from point A to point B. This thing should be more gradual and handled with more care. Not to mention, even taking the pacing aside, the writing is not exactly stellar, so it's not exactly like if the dialogue was excellent and maybe did a good job selling it, maybe, but the dialogue in this game is once again at best okay, so it's not exactly like they're doing a good job, excelling at it to make up for the pacing issues.
To be fair, I wouldn't say the main point of Ibfreet's character is the indoctrination. Like, don't get me wrong, the indoctrination definitely did not help his mind, but his main shtick seems to be his obsession with Zagi overall, which they are playing overall to their strengths here, it seems.
Well, here's the thing. Ever since Ibfreet was introduced, his shtick, he says that he wants to kill Zagi because, according to the Institute, it's not worth living unless you're a fencer. So he wants to kill Zagi as a mercy kill, So the indoctrination is like the big thing of his motivation for wanting to kill Zagi. So I will argue it should be handled with more care.
I would argue that the indoctrination, while playing a part to that, is not the main focus to his character, though. His main focus is his relationship with Zagi, which, to be fair, we see how that's affected by the indoctrination, but ultimately we'll see that the indoctrination does not truly rule over him, given that he is able to eventually break free of that and join the party. And my god, I realize we're now having a TED Talk over the script of a compile. Well, okay, to be fair, some compile heart games can have good stories, but a Fairy Fencer F game.
Yeah. I also am not too big on his design. I find it to be very lame. And once again, I get that I've said this before, but I'm sorry, I can't get over it. How lazy can you get in designing a fairy? Like, you see, power friendship, friends.
Like,
I think it's more the case that they're explaining to him that his idea of friendship that he had with Zagi was twisted, and he reminded what it actually is about, rather than just saying you are our friends.
Even he's saying it. Are you sure? Deciding that easily to let me join? See, even he's saying it.
Well, I guess the idea is that the power is yours.
I think Sherman and Apollonius were also discussing it before, but it's the classic thing that also happens when the Tales of Game introduces a trader character. It's best to have them around and keep an eye on them rather than just being roaming around.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, but as you can see, this is going to be a thing where AJ is obsessed with Japanese food.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we've already seen that.
I think they had an altercation with Bao.
Yeah, and we're gonna have another one later.
His boss is more into Western food, and AJ is more into Japanese food.
Which is something that I feel like is just like, I don't know. I understand that maybe you want to give Bao something that doesn't involve cooking in Harley. Well, technically it still involves cooking, I guess, but I get that you want to give Bao something else to do other than what he did in Dark Force, but I feel like this is just kind of eh.
What is this feeling? The revelation that I have a heart, after all. Okay, I do dig Rin getting in with Ibfreet since they're both kind of test subject to
I think Ethel is better because I remember Ethel was also in the Institute, so she's actually a better character to be used for this purpose.
I feel like Rin actually gels better with Ibfreet because they were actually both experimented on proper. Like,
I
Ethel
guess.
was in the system, yeah, but Rin kind of went through that whole song and dance, and she had to rediscover her.
I'm so tempted to quote Owen's line from Last of Us Part 2. We can, don't you see, Abby? We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be happy.
Also, hi, Hal.
Ah, yeah, you're still here.
But he seems confused by something.
Should I turn into the villain yet? Nah, maybe later.
Well, some people like to be alone.
Well, in his case, he doesn't, if it helps you. Oops. Hey, Al, are you talking to yourself again?
Sorry, I just have this Peter Parker syndrome.
That was kind of rude and confrontational, Al. Are you feeling okay?
Oh, by the way, if he's in the party.
Yeah, that's not mood we're plashing at all in the middle of a tense scene, is it? Chapter 17.
Imagine if Aerith's death did it like that. You know, Aerith dies and Yuffie's in the party now. Yay!
I've seen something similar recently, but I cannot speak because it's a bit of a spoiler.
Sure. You know, it reminds me. Have you guys here played the Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1?
Only the Budokai Tenkaichi game.
Okay. Because in Budokai 1, every time a cutscene ends, there's a you can actually see it in Johnny's review because he reviewed that game and he pokes fun at that moment. Basically, you'll be seeing a big sad scene in Dragon Ball Z where someone dies, and then cut to the result screen, and it's so mood it's such a mood whiplash. You can check Johnny's review, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah, and basically, once again, we have yet another character who's one of his shticks is going to be talking about how old Mariana is. I don't understand. Advent Dark Force didn't do this. Why are they doing this stupid joke?
Or like I said, it's usually aimed at people who are in their 30s, but Mariana is not.
Yeah.
She's not even in her late 20s. She's in earlier 20s.
It's
For
like,
reference, one of the VTubers that they follow actually has this gimmick where others tell her that, you know, Oba-chan, because, you know,
Yeah.
she's ideally in her 30s and everything, and she gets pissed as a gimmick. As a type of comedy gimmick,
AJ, what are you doing? Okay.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
It's a good thing we're probably not having another spice because I will be very judgmental of that.
Were you speaking of, mate? Just pretend that AJ has a frying pan.
And pretend he's running around. Or they're running around.
Oh, mama, I have got to get me one of these.
Good choice.
You have good taste, so long as
I think CJ in his Beyond Two Souls run, when he picked pizza for the day chapter in Beyond Two Souls, he said, "No man will ever refuse pizza." And yes, I'm going to gatekeep on this one. If he doesn't like pizza, he can just fuck off.
I refuse to believe that picking pizza somehow does not help you net the best ending.
Oh no, that's the thing, Java. That chapter is very forgiving. You can still bone him without getting everything perfectly. Like the game is very forgiving regarding that.
Yeah, you got one.
Flashback,
Oh, did somebody else notice?
I'm sorry. I'm having a flashback.
Have you been having these flashbacks often now?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Try again.
What did you say?
What you say?
You have no chance to survive me.
Oh, great. So Al was abusive apparently. Great. Thank you, game. I needed that.
Yay!
Okay. He gripped the wrist tough there. He had a bad moment. I don't know if we should assume abusive.
Like I said previously, we're still missing possibly a lot of context.
Definitely.
I don't know. Could you please be more specific and stop talking in pronouns? Like,
But Pedro, that would ruin the mystery of the plot.
yeah, that line from Fleur is not helping.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, but I know you're saying we can't be sure it's abuse yet, but with all this stuff coming from Fleur, it's not great.
Again, we don't have the full piece of the puzzle, though. The last thing we want to do is make asses of ourselves.
Oh, dum.
I mean, he's a. I'll say it to Fleur, okay.
No, Al is saying it to Fleur. Didn't we just go through this scene? Do we really need to flash back to this scene?
Great, the scene that happened 2 minutes ago.
In case you forgot.
It was like 5 minutes ago.
Should be. Oh, wait, no, actually, doesn't the story flow automatically into this cutscene?
Yes, it does. No,
I was about to say,
trust me, Joe. As you can see, the auto thing is on. I'm not even touching the controller right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching.
No, I get that. I was going to say maybe it's just in case you chose to do some side quests after adding Ibfreet to the party. But if I recall correctly, we automatically do go to this scene. Granted, I guess the idea is to compile all these to show the clues leading to the revelation.
So Al was saying, I created you, Fleur. So what does that mean?
Let me guess. Well, I mean, I kind of guessed a while way back, but I'm gonna guess that Fleur, and by extension Glass, because I'm pretty sure those two are secretly sisters, are like either clones of Al's dead wife or something, or just artificial beings in general that he wants to create life from.
I guess we'll see. Alright, strange question. Shoot, Fleur.
Okay, dead wife or dead daughter, dead family member potentially. Well, I mean, you have shown things, have you not?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't get where Al is coming from with the whole "you have no emotions" thing, because she has. Obviously she's not as quirky as some of the other characters, but she has shown feelings here and there.
I get the feeling Al has a very specific vision in mind, one that she's not fulfilling.
And also a specific psychosis, potentially.
I mean, and you know what? I kind of get it. She shows emotion, but it's very subdued to the point where one could mistake her as emotionless. My guess is that Al is trying to go for a more perfect living being.
The ultimate life form.
By the way, can somebody help my right arm? I never actually moved this arm for some reason. No, that's the left arm you're thinking, the one where she does that thing. But the right arm, that one never lifts up. She never does anything. It's always in that one specific pose. Always. It's like look at, for example, Fang. For example, Fang's various poses. You can see difference in the arms, like for both of them here and there, right? We just saw Ibfreet. Where Ibfreet, you have different poses with the arms and everything. Even though one of them looks awkward as fuck. Okay. Shut up!
Their bromance is cute.
Yeah, it's just a shame that the game kind of forgot about it when they were doing the whole thing. Oh, Aaron, you have to find me a friend, even though I already have a best friend.
Again, like I said, I feel like that's Fang's shtick of acting like, oh, I don't really have a friend, when in reality, no, he cares about
I instead get the feeling that it's more the case where the these kids are self-contained stuff that, happened in their own bubble and, only gets referenced if it's convenient.
Yeah, which is a problem
in my case-
which is a big problem in my opinion. That shouldn't be how it is at all.
Like
To
I
me,
said, it's
it's-
not that much different than a Tales of game. It's more a matter of the quality.
To me, it seems to follow the typical structure of the side quests may reference the main plot, but the main plot almost never references the side quest unless they are stuff that, directly affects the main plot. Ergo, like, adding Yuffie and Vincent onto the party.
Alright.
The original 7.
Alright, everybody. So what exactly is up with Fleur and Al? I guess we'll have to go to the
What's
next...
the deal with Al?
Exactly. So, see you for the next part where we continue to try to figure out this mystery, which is not all that hard to solve. So, see you then.
Yeah.
See ya.